So it has been a while since I last made my video against Hadith Rejectors.
Brother, it's been too long.
Hadith Rejectors on that video had a meltdown.
You're another mushrix.
Your insecurity has zero to do with Allah's doctrine.
These words are bigger than your brain.
Why you love Bukhari so much? I'm genuinely asking. Exalted is God. His book is enough. NPC sheep mushrik.
You serious?
The guy who I made a video on, he actually made a response. See what he says, and then I'll make my response. Again, like, I want to ask this guy a question. Like, how do you do that if you only follow the Quran? Like, where are the statements of the Prophet in the Quran?
I'm about to end this man's whole career.
قل. That's what God ordered the Prophet to do. Say, أَفَغَيْرَ اللَّهِ تَأْمُرُونِي أَعْبُدُ أَيُّهَا الجَّاهِلُونَ. So what would the statement of the Prophet be other than what God told him to say? Because he's obviously God's messenger. So obey the messenger.
So basically, he's responding to my argument where I brought up the verse, Quran 4:59, where it says, O you who believed, obey Allah and obey the messenger, and those in authority among you, right? Now the whole verse is about following instructions. That's what it means to obey Allah, obey the messenger, and those in authority among you. And his response to this verse is to quote another verse that has nothing to do with this verse, right? So he quotes this verse, Quran chapter 39:64. It says, Say, O Muhammad, is it other than Allah that you order me to worship, O ignorant ones? Like, what does this verse has to do with that verse? Nothing. Like, this verse is about the polytheists who are going to the Prophet ﷺ and telling him to worship idols. So what does this verse has to do with that verse? Here he's committing the faulty comparison. The two verses have nothing to do with each other. This verse that he quoted is about the polytheist. It literally says in the verse, Jahilun, or ignorant ones. Do you think Allah SWT is calling Muslims, his followers, believers in his religion, ignorant ones? Are you dumb? And do you think Muslims would tell the Prophet to worship something other than Allah?
You stupid.
The verse I quoted is about Muslims. It literally said, Oh, you who have believed. You who have believed. It's about believers. The verse you quoted is about disbelievers. How are these two things the same? The point of the verse is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling Muslims to follow him, his messenger, and those that are in authority among you, right? He's telling them to follow their instruction. That's why the word obey is used. Okay? Obey them. Obey them. But you're not obeying them, are you? You're not obeying the Prophet. So my question is valid. My question still stands. If the verse already says that you have to obey Allah and obey the messenger, then how do you obey the messenger without the hadith? How do you follow the commandment of the Quran? How? You can't. And this is why you need the hadith, because without the hadith, you cannot follow the Prophet. And if you cannot follow the Prophet, you cannot follow the Quran.
Isn't it awesome that when people are arguing that the Quran is not enough, think that they're right? Hey, is the Quran sufficient? Yes. So do I need the hadith? Yes. So why is it sufficient?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
It's the same as me saying, right? The Quran says to obey your parents, right? Those in authority among you, right? Obey your parents or respect the parents, right? Now imagine the parents tell you that you should study hard, right? To become a doctor or engineer. So you study hard, you study all these books. And then I look at that guy and they say that, why are you studying all this book? Why is the Quran not sufficient? Like, this is the kind of argument that they're making. They're saying following the Quran, which ultimately leads to you reading other books, means you think that these other books are revelation from God. How stupid are you? You honestly think that's our position? Like, I do believe the hadith is wahi. But the point is that doesn't mean it's the same as the Quran. So when we follow the Prophet, we're not going outside the word of God, but inside the word of God. We're following the word of God when we follow the Prophet. Like, why don't you understand this simple concept?
The Quran is not incomplete without the hadith. The Quran is complete by itself.
You shut up, Hadith Rejector. It's not the same.
Stop it. Get some help.
I don't know who gets convinced by this, that this is like a good response to the Muslims. Anyway, my position stands. You're not a Muslim. You and your followers are all kafir, unfortunately. And I don't want you guys to go to the hellfire. I want you guys to follow Islam properly. So I invite you to follow the Prophet ﷺ and the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. If you reject the Sunnah, you're rejecting Allah. You're rejecting the Quran. And you're rejecting Islam. So please don't do that. Please don't harm yourself like this. And yeah, I guess that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys like the video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you want to support me, you can support me by becoming a Patreon or a YouTube member. Please do subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot. By the way, future Eid Mubarak, I guess. It's almost the end of Ramadan. So yeah, inshallah, see you guys next time. Inshallah. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.